built it in. No time for that doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Used to lose, built to win. Applied myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Applied myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse.
Welcome to Refuse to Lose Sports. My name is Joe Jordan. We have a great episode for y'all today. You know, a lot of things are happening right now in the sports world. We're talking about the World Baseball Classic is coming up, Tomo. The NBA season is winding down, about to enter the playoffs next month. We got March Madness approaching. CTC call gonna be very busy. NFL free agency about to start. Less than 10 days, Tombo, and you know some owners, GMs came out and said they're gonna be big spenders in a free agency. But I'm doing good right now, Tombo. You know my Kings, you know, got my Kings. You know we tanking. We put a whooping on them Mavs though. Shout out to Kevo. Still beat the Mavs. And I got some things for my last words I gotta say about the Kings. But I'm doing great, Tombo. How you doing? Whoa. Missy Get Done, son, co-host of In the Red Corner. As y'all can see, Washington Wizards fan Trey Young making his debut soon. Tomo, you gotta be there if you could. DC is gonna be lit for this moment. Y'all tanking, but y'all in the mix, so y'all can win a few games. So it's cool. Trey Young get his feet wet, see how he can build that rapport with the team. How you feeling?
I mean, outside of him making his debut, they talking about a 3-year extension also. So they talking about him, he gonna be in the future. So I mean, look. Shout out to Ricky from In the Red Corner. He going to see the Rockets play, and he going to see the Wizards play the Rockets tonight. So hopefully the next game I do attend, Trey Young is making his debut, and I'm not watching him, be a coach on the sideline because we got enough coaches. Probably not the right coach, but outside of that, Joe, I'm feeling good, feeling great. I'm feeling way better than Wemby is after that L they took, or maybe Joker. After he yoked somebody. I'm just saying it was so much that happened in sports over the weekend, Joe. But I'm feeling good. And technically, I know you were going to get here. I know you want to go there. But it's Monday. It started a little snow down here in the DMV area. Not the, the DC area. My bad. I'm from a different area. We don't say DMV. But for those that are watching the DMV area. But outside of that, you turn your volume down when you listen to something that's sad. But when you watching Refuse to Lose or any show on the network, we need you to
turn me up.
Floor is yours. Do your thing, Joe.
So look, we are streaming this on 4 different platforms, but like we always say, we want to gear you towards YouTube because most of our content is coming from YouTube. So make sure you gear your way towards that. But we appreciate you watching anywhere. So wherever you're watching that, make sure you like this video, whatever you're watching that. Make sure you follow and subscribe on all of our social media platforms. You can follow us almost everywhere at Refuse to Lose Sports, except for Twitch and X. There you can follow us at R2L Sports. We're giving y'all content on a daily basis. And share this episode with somebody so they can come on and watch this episode with you because you can be involved in the show by being in the comment section. We can see all the comments y'all will be putting out throughout the show. Shout out to you in the comment section. We appreciate you. And last but not least, enjoy the rest of the show. Tomo, floor is yours.
Oh, just for the folks, we will have CTC Carl joining us at some point. We just want to let y'all know he had an emergency, so when he's good, he will join us. We don't want him to just pop up, and the next thing you know, you're like, where Carl come from? So we just want to prepare y'all for that as well. But we prepared y'all for Carl showing up, but we can't prepare y'all for what happened with the Spurs. Because again, this team here, they say they want to win, but then they don't win, but then they do win, and then they play good teams, and then sometimes they look decent against a good team, and then they look bad against good. I just don't understand what this is. I guess some would say they should change their name from the Knicks to just confusing, because it's all over the place. We don't know what's happening with the Knicks, but the Knicks found a way to end the Spurs 11-game win streak. And by snapping that win streak with that 114-89 victory, some people said Wemby walked off the court kind of looking like it was All-Star Weekend again. He was just like, what happened here? So, Joe, I know it's Broadway. I know some people when they in the actors world, they say it's a curtain call, and well, technically the curtain call was the win streak. What's your reaction to the Knicks snapping, or not even that? Are you buying this Knicks team after they snapped the Spurs win streak? And I'll bring Carl up. If you're ready, Carl, give me a thumbs up. There we go.
It's like, oh, you're not gonna know.
Oh no, I got him. Hold on.
My laptop be messing up sometimes, so sometimes I'll be playing sound effects and I don't even be hearing it. So
I know it'd be like an echo. What's up, Carl?
How you doing, Carl?
A little better. All
right, that's good. There we go.
I know y'all was in the middle of a topic, so I don't want to ramble.
All right.
Oh no, you good? I mean,
no, go ahead. We good. Go
Joe,
ahead.
If you good, you can start it off.
Yeah.
All right, let's get it.
Let's get it. You know, I think this says more about the Spurs and the Knicks for real. The Knicks has been very inconsistent for the whole year. When you look at the Spurs, they just came up with a road trip, and not just because they did play at home, but they played a lot of games on the road. Like they played Dallas. Then they played, it's all in February. They played Dallas on the road. Then they went home and played against Dallas. And then they played against LA on the road. They played against the Warriors on the road. Then they played Phoenix, then the Kings. Then they played Detroit on the road, Toronto on the road, and barely got through. They were down big against Toronto and came back and won that game. They played against the Nets on the road and then the Knicks on the road. So they were on an 11-game win streak. They had the longest winning streak in the NBA currently, well, at that moment. And we can't overreact over a loss. You know what I mean? Like over one loss. So, and the Knicks team, very inconsistent. I mean, I said this before. There are times when they look like a top defense in the league that they did against the Spurs. But then there are other times when they offense is clicking, but the defense can't get a bucket. You know, I'm sorry, can't stop a nosebleed. So I'm not really buying. I'm not bought on more on the Knicks because of what I saw on Sunday. How I feel about the Knicks, I still feel the same way right now. So I want to say this game says more about the Spurs just being due for a loss, you know, versus the Knicks. Oh my gosh, the Knicks saw there's something that we didn't know. That's not me right now.
Okay, Carl.
All right, so like I said, I came in the middle of the topic. So what's the question?
Are you buying the Knicks after they're snapping the Spurs win streak?
I mean, I'm like Joe. I mean, it doesn't change my mind on the Knicks. I mean, I thought the Knicks were the team to beat. One other team, excuse me. I said the Pistons are the team to beat in the East. But if you pick the Knicks, I'm not mad at you. And I still feel the same way. Now, is this like some, oh my God moment? No. I mean, like Joe said, you won 11 straight. And the way I feel about win streaks is you're bound to lose. Like, as good as win streaks are, a lot of that is some luck involved. It is good basketball, but eventually you're gonna have them days where you can't buy nothing. Shots not falling. This team, they just hitting everything. No matter what you do, good defense is just dropping. So I just feel like the Knicks are still the same team in my mind. This doesn't boost the Knicks' stock, in my opinion, at all. And for the Spurs, it doesn't lower their stock to me either. They lost the losing streak on the road. It happens. It's basketball, especially with 82 games. It's going to happen. So nothing's really changed in my mind about either team. But as a Pistons fan, I was happy to see it because we had the longest streak at 11, and I didn't want that to break by the Spurs. So
I'm with you on that one. This one right here just goes back to the inconsistencies that I said right with the Knicks in my intro. Is 1 week We can look at the Knicks and be like, oh, you know what? They are the best team in the East. And then the next game, you'll look up and be like, what's wrong with the Knicks? Should they get rid of Cat? Should they do this? Should they do that? Like, what's really happening? And here's one of those nights where the luck ran out for the Spurs, but the luck came through for the Knicks. The defense was there. The turnovers was happening. So it was just like, here go one of the games where, boom, the Knicks look like one of those teams to beat in the East. And, Carl, I really thought you was about to say this, so I'm going to say it for you. Technically, somebody should say the East is wide open as long as the Knicks are still in the top 5, because this is one of those teams you get in the playoffs with. You like, could they win a 7-game series? Well, if this Knicks team from last night show up, but if the Knicks team that went up against the Bulls that lost, you're like, well, they just lost to the Bulls who's trying to find a way to lose games. Like, I forgot who said that quote, but I think it was somebody from Miami. It probably was Udonis Haslam. Was like, when you lose the teams that want to lose, or I think it was Bam, and he said it about the Wizards. You're not supposed to lose the teams that want to lose. Now, you can't do that. Like, the Bulls want to lose, and then if you lose to them, then it's looking like, all right, what's really going on? So, am I buying? I mean, can I get a New York slice? I get a New York slice. But after that, like, I probably can't afford a drink when I'm walking in this store with the Knicks. I just don't know. You on mute?
A New York pie?
There you go.
I don't know.
Oh, with that one, I mean, we'll see. The playoffs are coming in. Wemby's having some moments, and Brunson is always going to have his moments. Shout out to Michael Bridges and them. But we're going to move forward from one West team to, I think we all were up here when we did the topic and said the Spurs are scary. And then shout out to RBO Vaughn. He went crazy in the chats and he was like, man, what y'all talking about? Come on, Wemby and all this, man. I thought he was going to look at me the way Joker was looking at Buddy when he joking him up that day. But when you got a lot of miles on your car, right? If you don't do the service just right, sometimes, the check engine light will come on. Sometimes it happens when your gas cap is not all the way on, or sometimes it can actually be something wrong with the car. The Nuggets are 4-8 since February 1st. And I think that check engine light is on. Should we be concerned, or is it time to be concerned? And I'm going to start with you, Carl.
I should have grabbed my Nuggets hat. I don't know where it's at, though. But no, I'm not concerned. They're missing 2 vital pieces. Aaron Gordon hasn't played since January 23rd, and Peyton Watson hasn't played since February 4th. And some of the losses, they lost to the Timberwolves, they lost to the Thunder, they lost to the Pistons. Like, no, they're not at 100%. They've been dealing with injuries all year. Jokic didn't miss games. I think Jokic can only miss one more game, and then he's ineligible for postseason awards. So, no, I'm not worried about the Nuggets. If they're healthy come playoff time, they're champions. They have championship DNA. They have one of the best players in the league in Jokic. They'll be fine. And I just think, man, it's a tough stretch of basketball. It's basketball. It happens. You're going to lose games. You're going to win games. You're going to hit rough passes. You're going to hit highs. It's a roller coaster of a season. So, no, I'm not worried about the Nuggets at all.
I might be worried about the Nuggets if they run into SGA when he coming off an injury.
But that's
No. I'm just saying that's what happened that night. SGA came back and he lifted OKC. And also,
he lifted them to a tie because he ain't playing no team from what I
heard. He did enough.
Yeah. No, on limited minutes, too. He put up 29 shots, though.
He lifted them to a tie.
Hey, if it wasn't for like
Caruso, hold on. Let's if we being real, Caruso down the stretch lifted the Thunder.
And Jokic breaking all them threes too.
Yeah, that too. But Jokic not Jokic. You had me saying Jokic. Caruso down the stretch made big plays on both ends of the floors in that Nuggets Thunder game.
He did though.
But having your guy back makes you you can go back to your role, and then it makes the game a little bit easier. But outside of that, 4-8 again. This is one of those teams, like you said, with championship DNA. It's a long season. It's already been people questioning just that's more so with the All-Star game. But Joker takes his breaks when he needs to take his breaks, and he's like, look, I'm gonna ramp up when it's time for the playoffs. So am I concerned with the Nuggets right now? No. Again, like I said, my joke about the SGA coming back. Joker, he was finding a way to win that game, and then that whole little brawl happened, or that little scrape up happened, and then next thing you know, they go out there against the Timberwolves, and then they take a L. But again, this is one of those teams that can lock in for 7 games, and depending upon who they match up with, it could get scary for them because again, injuries, they get back healthy. Jamal Murray, again, that's another guy. That 1-2 punch there, I'm not concerned right now. But again, I mean, no, I'm gonna just say now, right now. I'm not even gonna throw that in the ether. So take it away, Joe.
Hold on, real
So
quick.
go ahead, Carl.
Okay, ain't the issue. Go ahead, Joe.
Now go ahead.
Nah, you said Joe could take his breaks. Joe ain't taking no breaks. He had 35 yesterday.
No. I'm talking about he takes his breaks when he needs to.
Yeah.
Unlike other players, you get because some people are saying that the
Thunder game, he had a triple double.
hold on. Let me just say it. Some people say the European players take games off. He takes the games off when he's supposed to, which is the All-Star break. That's what I'm talking about, Carl.
Go ahead, Joe.
Okay, now do this person have like an attitude problem like another person? No, but he's a big man version of Luka. So like when you watch the different Nuggets, they are so Jokic centric. They are. Jamal Murray has his moments, but they give the ball to Jokic and everybody running around and he's just throwing down. You make one mistake on defense, he's gonna find an open man. He just ridiculous passing the ball. But in this stretch, this last 12 games, they are 4-8. But like Carl said, they played some great competition. I gotta give them that. They did beat the Celtics, but they got some great competition.
A good team hasn't.
So shout out to Jaylen Brown. He balling though. He beat the Sixers without Embiid yesterday. But 4-8 in the last 12 games, and on 12 games, he averaging 26, 13, and 9. So he is hooping at 47%. But these games I've been watching, I feel like down the stretch, Jokic be going cold. Like he be going cold, especially that OKC game. In overtime, he was breaking like a mug. Even the Celtics game, they end up blowing at the Celtics, but he was cold that game, starting the game off. So shooting wise, he hasn't been good. But am I worried about the Nuggets? I can't say I'm worried because this is a team that's not fully healthy. Like Carl said, they don't have Aaron Gordon, one of their best players, as playoff. That's a championship tested type guy. You know, the man came out with one hand against OKC and gave it a shot in game 7. And a lot of people felt like if he was healthy, they would have won. Hit a game winning against the Clippers in the playoffs. So he's a guy that's very viable to this team on both ends of the floor. And his three-point shot has been better also. So they really need Aaron Gordon. And plus, number two, as I already said, they are champions. They're a championship team. They're a team that's not going to go away fast. They're a team that's like, we don't care about the seeding. Just line them up. That's what the Nuggets are. Let's get to the playoffs, line them up. Now, they don't want to fall to the play-in, which is very possible because they only like 2 games or a game and a half behind Phoenix. I mean, in front of Phoenix. The Timberwolves beat them and already the Timberwolves are in 4th right now, and they are at 5th. And Lakers are 6th, and then you got the Suns. So you don't never want to be in that playing spot because it's extra games, especially with players. Jokic, he probably playing hurt still, but he don't want to be ineligible for any type of awards. He probably still playing hurt. I don't know. And then you got, like I said, Eric Gordon. So the last thing you want to do is fall into that play and play extra games. But am I worried about the Nuggets? I can't be. It's the Denver Nuggets. They got Jokic. They got one of the best players, maybe the best player in the world. So no, I'm not worried.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking to your point about the Nuggets being Jokic-centric, they're missing a key guy who they can give the ball to, and he can create his own offense in Aaron Gordon. So you kind of have to be because Jamal Murray, like you said, he can do it. But besides them two, who else? I mean, I think personally Jalen Pickett, but he don't get enough burn, so you can't use him. You're not going to do Cam Johnson. You're not going to use Jonas Valanciunas. So they have to, in a sense, be Jokic-centric while Aaron Gordon is gone.
I mean, I think saying Aaron Gordon get his own bucket is an overstatement. I think at times they go to him, but a lot of his stuff is all ball too, though.
No, but Aaron Gordon, he can do it.
He can. Like, because you got like Bruce Brown out there, he can't make a 3. You know what I mean? Not Bruce Brown. Christian Brown can't make it 3 to save his life. And what's name hurt too? I think you mentioned that. Yeah, Payne Watson hurt too. So they got injuries and they got guys that's going to come back. So I'm not worried about the Nuggets. But this is a tough stretch they're going through right now. Like they are losing to like all the good teams. And what concerned me about the Nuggets is the Warriors loss. They lost to the Warriors without Steph and Draymond.
I had a degenerate joke. I'm gonna just not say it. You know what?
Was it about Draymond?
No. They was the last leg on my parlay. Dang. That's why they lost.
Oh.
Nuggets money line. Could have won some money.
Dang. And then they went crazy from 3.
4th quarter. Could not miss. Brandon Pajinski almost had a triple-double.
Forget the 4th quarter, the whole game.
Well, that too. But, I mean, 4th quarter, Nuggets was up. All of a sudden, Pajinski couldn't miss. What was it? DeAndre Melton, I think, couldn't miss.
Who
Just
was
bad.
that?
Funny.
My man just popped up out of nowhere, man. We brought up Draymond and then Mark show up. That's insane. What's up, Mark? But let me ask you this then, Joe. Question. As far as you saying Joker getting cold down the stretch of games, like, do you think that's going to carry over into the playoffs?
Nah, Jokic has shown us multiple times that in the playoffs he just turned it to a different level. He did it against he does it in series they win and lose. He did it against OKC, right? He did it against the Clippers. He did it against the Timberwolves, right? When they lost the Timberwolves. That's what the Lakers every year. So that's what he does. I'm not worried about Jokic for real. And he's coming off an injury still. So
Okay, so let's say this. Just throw the scenario out there. If they fall into the play-in, like you said, I know you said that adds more concern, but what would be your
if they
scale of 1 to 5?
It's just that if they fall to the play-in, I just have I had less confidence in them beating Spurs and OKC. That's just an extra game they got to play. And the Spurs are a young team.
That's valid. But I don't think they'll fall to the play-in because the Lakers, they'll be their safety net.
Safety net. That's crazy.
All right, so let me ask you this then, Carl. Since you said the Lakers will be their safety net, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that you could win a ring with Luka?
Like with his roster constructed now, no. But with the Lakers period, yes. I think you could win a ring with Luka. You made the finals with Luka. And it wasn't Luka's fault they lost in that final. Which, by the way, I went back and looked at the numbers at that final. JT only didn't win at finals MVP because he didn't perform as a JT scoring-wise. Because he still led the Celtics in points, rebounds, and assists. It's crazy what a narrative can do. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, I think you could win a ring with Luka. You got to put the pieces around him. You need a defensive big who's a lob threat. You need some defenders on the perimeter, and you need a guy who can get a bucket with him. Let me not even say you need a guy that can get a bucket with him. Because, I mean, in the Western Conference Finals against the Warriors, he didn't necessarily have a guy Tim Hardaway kind of. But I'll say that is very optional, but highly recommended. But yes, you can win a ring with Luka because Luka gets his teammates involved. Luka elevates his game, as Joe says a bunch, in the playoffs, and he's clutch. Want to talk? I know we have an intangible debate going on in chat a ton, saying a lot of people saying he has no intangibles. Well, being clutch is an intangible, and he's clutch, especially in the playoffs. So yes, I think you can win a ring with Luka.
Okay, so you're saying in general, but not with this Laker roster, the way it's constructed.
You
okay,
can't
so
win a series with this Laker playoff series probably with this Lakers roster.
Could you win one with this roster if LeBron was the third option, playing as like the third option?
I don't know. No matter which way you slice it, I don't know if you can win a series with this Lakers all roster.
Like one series,
not against a real playoff threat.
Okay, Joe.
Listen, man, there's been talks that came out. I heard Jay Will mention it. People in the chat bringing it back up. Whenever there's a dark cloud around Luka, this conversation comes up. Conversation wasn't up when Luka was cooking this season. But soon, some chaos come in LA or something happens, he gets hurt, something happens. Oh, you can't win with Luka. You can't win a championship with Luka. He has bad habits. He has losing habits. Don't get me wrong. He does argue with the ref a lot. That's a bad habit. I don't like that. That's not who I am. I'm not a person that just cry all the time. I just go to the next play. I don't even call foul when I'm out there, except when Tom almost fouled me and I call foul. But other than that, I don't call foul.
I actually fouled you.
You did? No, I think you fouled me. That's how I said foul. And then you was like,
I remember the first time it was a foul. The one that was a foul, you let it go. But
but I don't really call foul for real, and Luka doing what he's doing, I don't like that. But can you win a championship with Luka Doncic? Are we serious right now? Are we serious? Luka Doncic is arguably the best player in the NBA. Now, is he? That's an argument. He's in the mix. Like, he's in the mix to be the best player in the NBA. So we're telling me that you can't really name a time when you could look at a series and say, oh, they lost because of Luka. Can't do that. Right? People say things like, oh, you can't win in that style. Look at James Harden. That's a bad example because Luka is the complete opposite of James Harden. Number one, like Carl said, Luka don't fold in the playoffs. He elevates his game. elevated to another level. He's a dog. And number two, he just got a more of an offensive arsenal than James Harden. I would never forget when they played the Phoenix Suns and Mikal Bridges was second in the defensive player of the year voting. And Luka Doncic abused that man in the post. He was just too small. You don't see James Harden do stuff like that. Everything James Harden do is 20. Floater, three. Floater, three. That's it. He don't shoot no post-up shots, none of that stuff. Luka literally has an all-around offensive game. So that's that. And now look at Luka's career. His first series against the Clippers in the bubble, the man was cooking, but we forget that he hurt. What's his name? Stepped on his ankle. He was hurt. He got hurt. They lost 4-1 in the bubble. And what kind of help he had against that Clippers team? Let's be real, y'all. Come on, that Clippers team was supposed to win the whole thing for real. And then you go to next year, he plays the Clippers again, takes them to game 7. I mean, I'm talking about he cooking. 31, 39, 44. Then he had 19, 42, 29, and 46 in game 7. What more do you want from me? Come on, man. The man is cooking. And then the next year, he goes against Utah. He gets hurt, and Jalen Brunson's show comes out, right? And then they play Phoenix, the number 1 seed in the West, and he snatched their heart. We talk about game 7. He outscored the whole team in the first half. And
he had the same amount of points.
Huh? Same amount of points?
27, yeah.
And ended the first half by putting Cam Johnson on the ground, hitting the 3. Like, dog. He's a dog.
What do you want from me?
Come on, man. And then when he played the Warriors, come on, man. I remember we was in the chat, showing clips of Luka defensive lapses against the Warriors. And I'm like, y'all, have you ever watched Jokic in the playoffs defensively? Jokic is the same way. They attack Jokic. Jokic is a defensive liability. Now, he cries too, but not as much.
Yeah, Jokic cry.
But not as much as Luka though. And Jokic
he cried
like a mug.
He cried. You might as well. I mean, Luka does it the most, but Jokic ain't that far off.
Luka, I feel like he does like every play.
Yeah, he does it the most, but I mean, Jokic
I'm telling you, Jokic is another Luka, bro. He's just a big man. They are the same, and Jokic won the championship. So my thing is, and then I'm sorry, I'm probably rapping too much. So they lost to the Warriors, and that Warriors team won the championship, by the way. Mm-hmm. And then the next year, you go against the Clippers, you wipe them. I ain't hear nobody talk about intangibles. I ain't hear nobody talk about you can't win with Luka. Then you play against OKC, the number 1 seed, and you beat them too. Nobody talk about intangibles. Nobody talk about you can't win with Luka. And then you go in Minnesota. And Anthony Edwards, I don't want Kyrie. Kyrie, he had to do his thing. But Luka, Rudy Gobert, twing, step back. You can't guard me. Go home. Pack your bags. You're not passing this. Look, this line right here. You ain't going any further. And he going against the Celtics, who I thought on the show, I'm on record saying, yo, the Celtics are better in everything. The only thing the Celtics don't have over the Mavericks is Mavericks got the best player. That's it. Mavericks got the best player on the court. But other than that, we're talking about everything. They have it. And nobody talks about how Kyrie disappeared in that whole
man. Hey, look, man, I will.
Nobody talk about it. And last time I checked, Luka actually played well, but defensively, he was getting exposed because he's not good defensively. So is Jokic. But can you win with him? Yes, you can win with him. The only time I could say, dang, this is not the Luka I recognize was last year with the Lakers. But I thought the numbers look good. But watching them, I'm like, this ain't the Luka I'm used to. But that whole Lakers, that whole run was just old. It was just bad. They ready playing the whole starting lineup, the whole second half, which is crazy. So, yes, you can win with Luka, and he will get a ring. And when he does, I don't want nobody saying he developed intangibles. He had to develop it, bro. No, he just didn't have the team around him.
I hate that, bro. Intangibles are things that really are things that you can't develop. It's things that you have. And
Luka has that clutch gene, like Joe was saying. I remember that finals run that they had with Kyrie, and remember, I think was that the year I picked the Mavericks to be the dark horse?
You did.
That was the year, and then I said when they went up against Ant, because I picked the Timberwolves the year before, And I picked them, and Kev was mad because that whole run, I was like, Kev, I'm trying to tell you, man. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have got here.
I remember that.
But Kev was upset, and he was like, nah. And then I kept acting like I was a Mavericks fan. He was like, nah, we ain't doing that. And that's why they call Dallas now, Kev. You should have just accepted it. We would have got a ring, and you could have been okay with it. I would have got my little, my rental ring, and I would have been straight.
That's why they in the gutter now, Kev. Should just accepted it.
See what happens? When HOA wants to accept you, man, you just better come with open arms, man. That's all I'm saying. But outside of that, I do agree with everything you all were saying. You can't win one with Luka. Carl, the only reason I kept asking those questions about the Lakers because I just want to, get my shots in on the Lakers. They keep throwing shots at us.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, so that's the only reason. But I don't think they can win one with this Lakers team. I do think he'll win one at some point. I don't think JJ Redick this might be my hot take. I don't think JJ Redick will be the coach when Luka goes win one with the Lakers.
I don't think that's a hot take.
Yeah, I think he's gone after LeBron leaves, actually, because that's the whole LeBron era. But outside of that, they already see what this team can be. All you have to do is take that same Mavericks formula, get him a nice two-way player, like you said, get somebody. I would say a two-way player. Get him somebody that can protect the paint. Like a guy that can't go get a bucket when he needs to get a bucket, but that guy that you're not expecting to get a bucket every time because Luka is your playmaker. And that pick and roll thing, man, I promise you, if Luka was with the Wizards right now, him and Alex Saul would go crazy. But outside of that, actually, you put Luka on the Wizards roster right now, and I think they probably go on a good run. I ain't gonna say they win a ring, but
they could probably win the East. I'm not even trying to say it.
Whoa.
No, a healthy Wizards team with AD. I'm talking about AD with AD and the front court got.
I wasn't thinking about him either. I don't know why.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about with the fully healthy roster, and you take out Trae Young, put Luka in.
I wasn't even thinking about with AD. I'm also thinking about with.
I was gonna say they can make the playoffs
with the wings and everything. Yeah, that's what I'm saying with the wings. They might make the Eastern Conference Finals. It might be an HOA Eastern Conference Finals.
I'm sorry, Carl, bro.
I ain't gonna hold you. I would be sick. I don't know why we struggle against y'all, bro. I really don't.
That was. Oh yeah, they beat them too.
Oh,
man. Bro, the first game we played, we had to go into double overtime to win.
That's true. That's true, and we have nobody there. Yes. But that right there shows the talent. But that's also why
against the Wizards.
And I think that's why Joe got excited the way because he seen what avenue I was going down. That shows you how good the Wizards roster is. But it's so much of it. I wasn't even thinking about JaVale McGee. I'm just thinking about him and Alex Saw, and then the lob and the pick and roll that they can run, and then having Keyshawn George on the outside. The crazy part is I'm talking about Luka with the Wizards and not with the Lakers at all. So Lakers, that right there lets you know that y'all need to rebuild y'all team altogether. But that also lets you know that Luka can win a ring because you just. What did I say about KD? It was like you could just drop KD in a situation and you automatically think of things of how they're going to get to the finals. Look at the Rockets. I think Luka is the same way at this point in his career. You just drop him in a good situation and things can happen, especially after he lost the weight. Because remember, that was another thing people tried to use as well. They was like, Luka overweight. He don't want to get in shape. That's why he was burnt out in the finals, this, that, and the third. Whatever. You see what he's capable of. And also stop comparing him to James Harden. I understand the game styles were similar at one point where they was talking about how he played, but technically I would take Luka in a playoff series before I take James Harden, hands down. Also,
involved.
Yeah, and this is
I call James Harden James Houdini.
And we're gonna really find out what happens when he's over here with the Cavs now because now the expectations are there. The expectations have grown. It's like, no, you got somebody that's gonna help you out in the playoffs. So is it you? Or I ain't no or. It's just is it you at this point? So I'm with y'all.
I'm gonna hold my question I got for Carl after we complete done with the segment. But yo, when you have a certain unique player, sometimes you have to build around them a unique way. LeBron was the same way. LeBron intangibles are off the roof. Don't get me wrong, but you can't just put any team with LeBron you can take to the finals. You got to put shooters and defenders. But that's everybody. For real, like Jokic, you gotta push. They need shooters. They need wing defenders. They need, bro. Have that same thing with what's the name with Luka, bro. Luka, I'm telling you, man. I never watched a playoff series and I looked at the Luka and said, man, he's holding them back. I did with James Harden a few times. I've done with a lot of guys. Like even last year when the Clippers lost to the I forgot who I was talking about this. When they lost to the Nuggets, I'm like, Kawhi was healthy. Kawhi didn't really, he should have one game. That's it. So Kawhi didn't pull up. Even when they lost to the Nuggets in the 3-1 comeback, what were you, Kawhi? I can't even imagine Luka melting in that situation. Now he was, he did lose 3-1 against the Minnesota Timberwolves, but he wasn't. If he out 3-1, it's curtain. You going home? He went out 3-2 against OKC. You going home?
When he
Went
hurt,
huh?
when they lost to the Timberwolves, didn't he get hurt?
He did get hurt. Yeah, he did.
I mean, they ain't the reason why they lost, though.
Yeah, he
I'm
got
just
hurt.
saying.
He still averaged like 35 too.
Yeah, they ain't the reason why they
Like
lost.
33, 31 went down. He was cooking. But his defense wasn't, they weren't really attacking him like that. The Lakers' defense, period, was bad. Like, they just wasn't a good team,
I
bro.
don't have a big.
They don't, they didn't have a big, bro.
Rudy,
Like,
if Rudy Gobert can have a
You're
20,
right.
27, 24 game, bro, you don't have a big.
Yeah,
I forgot about that. Rudy Gobert, like, prime shot got that job.
Dog.
The chat was lit, bro. I remember that. Like, we was always laughing, like, dog, Rudy Gobert was getting all these offensive glass rebounds and going back up and dunking those. Carl, I got a question.
I'm listening.
Did you hear what the Cavs said about y'all?
Wait,
What have I been saying this entire time? I saw
know.
it. I was like, I've been saying this all year. It's not news to me.
Tomo, they said
They feel like they can beat us.
it's talks in the locker room that the Pistons not in their league, bro. Like,
Bro, I've been saying that all year.
It was the game they played the Pistons and they rest Donovan Mitchell and
James
Harden. And they went to overtime.
They should have won that game, to be honest.
They went to overtime. Yeah, like a lot of people said it was controversial in that game. But
It
it was to
wasn't.
overtime.
It wasn't.
Not
So,
in their
like,
league?
They said they're not in a league, bro. They said they can't mess with us for real. That's what guys. That's what the locker room is saying.
That's what I've been saying. I said if I don't want to see the Cavs. We
Y'all
struggle
might see
against
them
the
in the
Cavs.
second round. Y'all might just see them in the second round.
See,
That's why they losing. They're like, we got fourth seed.
Look,
But you hold on, Carl. You said hold on. I know you want to answer, but you don't think y'all in the same league as the Cavs?
bro, we struggle with the Cavs every year, good or bad. Donovan Mitchell kills us. Do you not remember the first game of the season? Blowout. Wasn't he close?
Same league though.
I know, right? Come on, Carl.
I can understand you saying struggle, but same league.
Bro, we're
Like y'all
not-
struggle with the Wizards.
Oh,
Can
let me
I say you're not in the
this.
same league as the
Hold on,
Wizards?
I gotta get this off because people just love to think number one seed means you're the best team in the East. Best team. No, bro, that's not what that means. It doesn't. I've been saying this from day one. We are not a championship roster. I didn't even think we'd be the number one seed, to be completely honest. I thought we'd be a playoff team for sure. Number one seed, did not imagine that. But this roster is not ready. They have James Harden and Spider to go with Mobley and Jared Allen down low, bro. We're not ready. I'm sorry.
I get what
Like,
you're saying. Carl.
like, come on, bro.
I get what you're saying. I understand.
I'm a realist before
I
I'm a
understand
fan,
that,
bro.
but same league is that's a stretch.
That's wild.
Carl.
I think
that's a
league is
stretch.
wild.
Okay, let me ask y'all this.
They're better than y'all. I can see you saying
Who's
they're
the best
better.
player in that series?
Donovan, it's arguably you can say
It's an
Donovan.
argument between Cade and Donovan, right? But you would
Yeah.
probably go Donovan because he has the experience
Because
and he
of
also
experience.
elevates his game in the playoffs.
But man, people might say K though. But go ahead.
That's fine, and I'm not mad
Who's
at
second
that
best?
answer.
Who's
But
second best?
Donovan Mitchell is proven in the playoffs. We are yet to see Cade be 100%
Right.
proven in the playoffs, right? Cool.
You're right.
You go throw them out now. James Harden is leaps and bounds a better player than our next best player, Jalen Duren. Now, Jalen Duren has elevated his game. Don't get me wrong. But, bruh, we don't have the roster yet. Because now you go from Harden and Duren, you go Evan Mobley to what? Tobias Harris, who a lot of people don't even like Tobias Harris.
But still, though, Carl, I get what you.
Jared Allen to Asar Thompson, who got benched a couple days ago.
But also, Evan Mobley hasn't really been consistent in the playoffs.
Okay,
James Harden has his playoff woes.
People don't even like Tobias Harris. People think Tobias Harris is a scrub. Do I think that? No. But let's not forget the infamous line that Kendrick Perkins had about Tobias Harris. They asked you to get Chick-fil-A, and you came back with straws and napkins. That was said about Tobias Harris.
I mean, there's also a line about Bethune. I mean, Bethune, but still, man, the league is crazy, girl. That's crazy. They should say that about I'm a Wizards fan. They say that about the Wizards. It's like, you know what? You're right. We're not in the same league as y'all right now. But
I'm not saying, look, this is what I'm saying.
I'm
not saying that it's 100% true, but what I am saying, they're not wrong for thinking that. If I've been dominating the team for years, good or bad, I'm saying the same thing.
Okay, you added years. I was about to say, so how do you feel about the Knicks then? because y'all been dominating the Knicks
You
all
know
season.
how I feel about the Knicks. We did the same thing in the regular season,
Carl,
and
like,
then
I
lost.
ain't put no expectations on that.
I
So
want to see it in the playoffs. Y'all know how I feel about the regular season. It's cool, but the playoffs is a different animal.
All right, man. I think this is gonna be good. If y'all
And let
match
me
up
also
with them,
say
I
this.
hope y'all
People
win.
probably
I'm
think,
rooting
oh,
for
you
y'all.
just hedging because this is his team. I said the same thing with Orlando when Javon was super hype about Orlando 2 years ago, and I said it don't matter till later in the year. I keep the same energy whether it's my team or it's not my team.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you. So like the playoffs started today. Y'all will have to play a play-in team. Oh, y'all might play Orlando Magic. That'd be funny.
Oh, I would love to put out Paolo after the disrespect, with Tobias Harris and all that, even though they said Tobias had a better game than him yesterday. I'm just saying.
So like you could play Orlando, Heat, Hawks, or Hornets. You confident y'all beating any one of those things?
I'm confident beating all four of them.
Okay, cool. No problem. Yeah, second round will be the Cavs. If the Cavs beat Toronto, which I assume they would, but Toronto would give them a tough battle. But
I would be confident
now
being
imagine
Toronto.
that.
Cleveland, like I said, I'd be nervous as all you know what.
Now imagine that Cleveland said that about y'all, and then they get put out the first round by the Raptors.
Thank you, Toronto. Appreciate you.
Then they not in the same league as y'all because they couldn't even beat the Raptors.
That's not styles make fights, Tomo. That's not true.
Look, man, no, this style ain't the same fight. Because look, Carl, can y'all beat the Raptors?
Yes. But that's not how basketball or sports work.
Sometimes it do, Carl. Sometimes it do.
No,
I get what you're saying. James Harden, you said James Harden the second best player, that he would be the second best player in the series, but what if he don't show up? Now what?
You still have Spider. That's the whole point.
But you have a push.
Even if
that's
he
the push, though.
You have a guy
but that's the push
because
you got Cade.
So the expectations on James Harden is not the same.
But
he
there's
disappears
a push,
as a number one. Now he's a number two. He's not expected to be the same. He's really just, to be honest, a facilitator and a guy that can score when need be. Because Spider handles.
But listen to what you said though. So if him and Cade are there, that's the push, right? And if James Harden don't show up,
that's a possible push.
And Spider, my bad, Cade and Spider. That's
possible because again, I'm a playoff guy. Cade is my guy. He's having a heck of a year. He actually had a good playoff, to be honest, but he has to show that he's better than Donovan Mitchell in the playoffs.
Down the stretch. That was the issue down the stretch.
Exactly.
I get why Carl feel the way he feel, but I will feel confident. I do think y'all capable of beating the Cavs.
Yeah,
but
sure.
That's
when you talk about the Cavs, it's like you talking about a ghost or something. The way you be talking about.
That's how I feel to Detroit. Look at them, bro. Like dog. We dead serious. We just went to overtime against.
You know what happened last
security guard? Evan Mobley.
You don't even know what happened to the last security guard.
Bro, we just went to overtime. And like I said, we shouldn't have won that game. Thankfully, Dennis Jenkins made a heady play and shot the ball before Jalen Tyson fouled him, or else we'd have been shooting 2 instead of 3, and then we'd have had to play a foul game. Yeah,
you know what it was, Joe. You know what it is, Joe. It ain't the security guys. You know what he's talking about. He said Carl acting like he treating Cleveland like it's Baby D. You talking to me like that because you don't know Baby D. That's why he's saying that does.
I'm just saying,
look,
bro.
He said you don't know Cleveland.
And
I know
this
Cleveland.
The only team.
That's why y'all looking at me like that.
But this is the only team I don't have that confidence against. I have the confidence against the Celtics. I have the confidence against the Knicks. I have the confidence against any other team in the East. The Cavs, however, if the Bucks were the Bucks, because Giannis just kills us. But the Cavs, I watched it too many times. We could play with them. Blowout. Like, I'm sorry.
And the fact that they came out and said that, it reminded me when teams were like looking at us when we could beat the Kings, dog. Like, we're gonna stay at the 6th seed. That's the Warriors there. We're gonna stay here because we could beat the Kings.
And it was on the brink.
And we took them to 7 games. And then Steph had to go crazy on us.
Yeah, Steph went 50.
I think that's kind of like the same story.
No.
Who was the best player in that series?
Steph.
Who was the second best player?
Fox.
Who was the third?
Sabonis.
I was about to say probably Sabonis.
Who was the fourth? Try and win here.
Malik.
Nah,
you gotta say Draymond
playing that series. Yeah, I'm not
Wiggins bought that series too, though. Wiggins had a good series, but the talent wasn't. I think the talent level was higher between these between the Cavs talent. Cavs got a team. They got a squad. I can't fake. On paper, they nice. That's why they my pick.
I picked the Cavs. I picked the Cavs to be one of the scariest teams in the East. But to say that the Pistons are not in the same league as
I
them,
think that's
when
wild
they're
too.
literally the
Bro,
same
all
league
I'm
as
saying
them,
is I
is
can see
insane.
why they think that.
Okay,
I mean, we all
I
can
got
say
you.
that.
I got you. Yeah,
I can see why you think it, but to say it is insane.
Carl,
I can see why though.
No, Carl. Tom will ask you straight up. You don't think you're on the same league? You said, "Have you watched this?" And you kind of agreed.
No, I think we can beat them.
Okay.
I
So
think
then you
there's a
think y'all in the
chance we
same
can
league
beat
then?
them. But I even said this earlier. I said I can see why they think that because when we play them, they blow us out when they're healthy.
I would love to see this now.
I would love to see it. No, I ain't
Yeah,
gonna lie. I
nah.
don't want to see it.
The Knicks want to see it too.
Yeah,
Knicks like,
I
please,
don't want to see it. I don't
please.
The Knicks
Yeah,
is talking like how Carl's talking. They're like, somebody put them out. 'Cause I'm
Man,
tired of
everybody
this.
don't want to fight each other. Like,
But this isn't. But to me, this isn't news. Like I said this before. The Cavs scared me because of the reasons I've laid out already. I said this probably like 2 episodes ago or 3.
and the rest of the East, like, don't let Tatum come back. All right.
All right, next up.
Man, you know what? Never mind.
Next
Go
topic.
ahead. Say what you gotta say.
Nah, because it was a curse word involved.
Oh.
Beep. All right, so from one person from Carl agreeing with the Cavs saying that his team is not in the same league as them, to one person telling LeBron just to get off my team. I don't even want you here no more. Byron Scott did an interview recently. I should have got the actual radio show that he was on, but shout out to y'all for asking the right questions because you definitely got a clip here, and we're gonna run this clip because Byron said basically he ain't gotta go home, but you gotta.
You know, coming from one of the greatest players that ever played a game, to say that it's harder to play now than it was then.
Are you ready to see him go from the Lakers?
Yeah. You know, I mean, like I said, I'm a fan, but you know, I don't mince words either. I mean, I think this should be his last year here.
Not in the NBA, just here.
No, just here.
Okay.
You know, I really.
You don't got to go home, but you got to go.
Yeah. You know, it's more.
It's more than. Go check out the rest of the interview for the rest of that because we are a family show here. So the question is, well, it's more so a reaction to say Byron Scott ready for LeBron to leave. I don't think Byron the only one. They didn't want LeBron when he got there. Remember they started doing murals and all that, and they was talking about they was comparing. It was like he ain't a Kobe type of guy. He's not a Laker type of player. Like we don't even need LeBron here. So why is he coming here? And I mean, this is one of the moments where I wish Bibby was here because he can defend LeBron like the best of them. But as far as a Laker community, they never wanted LeBron there. And the fact that even when they got there, they started slumming, and then it took for them to get to the bubble. And when they won the ring, they still looking at it like, well, LeBron, you ain't did too much for us. Because they always held a stature. Like the Lakers have a stature, and they felt like LeBron could never live up to it. One, we can just go back to the LeBron Jordan debates alone. And then when you're talking about the LeBron Jordan debates, there's always that one person in the barbershop who's like, but what about Kobe? And boom, that's when Laker fans jump right in. And then Byron Scott saying, man, he just need one more year. Well, technically, LeBron saying I'm out of here anyway because of, one, the way Jeannie was trying to get him out of there with the trades, but also just LeBron wears on franchises. It seems like when he goes somewhere else outside of Cleveland, he just wears on the franchise. Look what the Miami Heat did. They took the cookies away from him so he can leave. Went back to Cleveland, got a ring, but then Kyrie was there, and Kyrie was just like, look, bro, I didn't really ask for this. I didn't ask for none of this. You came over here bringing all this unnecessary pressure. I just wanted to hoop, get me a ring without you, and then boom, look what happened. So then Kyrie moved on. And then he started a ripple effect. It was like a whole episode of Marvels the way LeBron did the league. Because he started that, then KD did what he did. That was a whole nother ripple effect. And then you had another timeline of Kyrie doing what he did to the Celtics, Nets, so on and so forth. I think he found a home in Dallas. So shout out to him for that. Look with KD. Warriors. Should I go? Warriors. Suns, Brooklyn. Rockets. Never said what's up to DC, but that's another story for another day. But outside of that, I think what Byron was saying, I was messing with you backstage, Carl. I was like, man, Byron just need to go ahead and be quiet, man. Nobody cares what you think right now, but technically, Lakers fans have been screaming this since LeBron signed the contract. They didn't want him here. They got one ring when they were supposed to get multiple. I don't know how they was going to do that because LeBron actually brought some talent over here. But outside of that, they didn't want him here from the beginning. Take it away, Carl. Oh, Take it away, Joe, because me and Carl was going back and forth just now.
Man, I like Byron Scott sounds. I think he said that because of the question that was asked. Like he was talking about LeBron, was talking about injuries because he was on a show with Tyrese Halliburton, and he talked about how injuries, like you will more so get like an Achilles injury, like a strain injury, like that, because of the spacing of the floor, and it's like an up and down. It's like a lot more running, all that stuff, right? So he was like comparing the injuries, how an 82 game season today, you're more likely to get hurt than playing an 82 game season back then. So Byron Scott didn't like that. You know, like the old heads are like, that's what you talking about. You know what I mean? Like we play in a tougher league. Like our league, you get hurt more, but we play through it. Y'all sit out when y'all get a little ankle sore, you know, like little stuff like that. So he didn't like that comment, and he's like, you know what, I'm tired of him. Let's get him out of here. Now, when we talk about strictly basketball, since LeBron has been there, I will never forget when they went to the bubble when they won a championship. And then the next year, first of all, a lot of people don't even count the ring. They call it the Mickey Mouse ring. All right, the Mickey Mouse ring. So that's that. He gets disrespected with that. People always bring up you went against the weakest finals opponent in NBA history. You didn't play the team that really probably could have beat you, the Clippers. Like people make so many holes in that championship. And then the next year when AD got hurt against the Suns and they lost, and I remember watching that game and it was getting blown out. And I was like, dang, LeBron can't carry them to the finals. Like, I'm so used to LeBron just overcoming stuff, but this is the West. It's different. The Wild Wild West. So once he lost to the Suns that year, they just been mediocre, bro. Even the year they went to the Western Conference Finals, they were in a play-in. People forget about that. They were in a play-in. And they beat Memphis, who didn't have Jaren Jackson. Did they have Jaren Jackson? They didn't have Steven Adams. They didn't have Brandon Clark. Basically, the whole front line was hurt. And AD was going crazy defensively. I remember one game, he had like 5 blocks, 6 steals, something like that. They went against Memphis, and then they played the Warriors, and then they got swept by the Nuggets. And then every year after that, they are in a play-in or first round out. So, like, it's like, and here's the problem with him being there. The Heat is either leave for the Lakers' sake and for his sake, like your boy, right? And no, it's not. He has the highest cap hit on the Lakers right now. And he's on the team with Luka. He got a $52 million cap hit. And Luka at $45 million. That's $7 more million than Luka. That's crazy. Now that you have Luka Doncic on your team, you have to move on from LeBron James. They are the same player. They're not going to win the championship with them and Austin Reeves on the same team. I heard a report that came out and said that Luka and Austin Reeves will have a say-so if LeBron stays on that. I was like, oh, snap, Austin Reeves too? I'm like, y'all ain't got no say-so. LeBron got to say-so. I think LeBron should just leave for real and go somewhere else. It just, like I said, start fresh. I mean, you don't start fresh no more, but go somewhere else. But I do think, and then when LeBron leaves, the Lakers will have the cap space to build around Luka, like Carl explained in the other segment. Get or you, if one I did, get some lob threats, get some two-way defenders on the wing, get players that could match with Luka. So I think it is time for him to go, but not for the same reasons Byron Scott is saying it, because it just makes sense for both sides to just separate.
Carl?
Yeah, man, I agree. It's time for LeBron to get up out of here. I want to say this. LeBron, right, when he does leave, it's calculated. He left Cleveland, went to Miami. He knew D-Wade and Bosh was coming. He left Miami. He knew Kyrie was there and they was trading for K-Love. Or else he wasn't leaving. A lot of people, this one thing. A lot of people love to say that LeBron went back to Cleveland for unfinished business. LeBron was not going to Cleveland without getting K-Love. Come on, man. He even... in the letter, I remember reading the letter when he dropped it, and it kind of hinted at knowing that they were trading for K-Love.
He didn't mention Deion Waiters.
Nope.
Yep.
I remember that.
So, and then he went to LA there was speculations around LA getting AD the moment he was going to LA. So I think it's time to go. And wherever he goes, it's probably going to be Cleveland because they got Donovan and James Harden. And they're going to rewrite it as coming home to finish it out where he started and blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, it's about time to leave. One, because he's the oldest out of the big three. The big three is not going to work. And like Joe said, he takes up the most cap space. LeBron is the closest to retirement. Like, I mean, he could possibly play 2-3 more years. That's how much of a freak athlete he is. His longevity is definitely like one of the greatest like features ever in sports to me. Okay. I know somebody's going to say Brady played till he's 45. No, it's LeBron. But yeah, man, the Lakers save cap. He gets to go play somewhere else. He's in a better place, like stylistically, because I don't think 3 non-defenders on the floor with no big and Marcus Smart just doesn't work. And like Joe said, with that cap space, they can build around Luka. So it's a win for the Lakers. It's a win for LeBron. Now, I have one question with that, though. What happens to Bronny?
Wherever you go.
He's not out of contract.
No, they can cut him.
Didn't Bronny sign a 4-year deal this year, too?
He did. Was it this year?
Nah, it was.
I thought he signed one when he got drafted.
Yeah, he didn't get drafted this year. It was last year.
So, yeah.
That's probably why he didn't leave yet. I don't know, man. That's a good question. I mean, that's a good question. Maybe they just trade him. It's part of
he might get more minutes.
Hold on. To trade for somebody has to have interest in losing something to gain him.
A draft pick.
Cash consideration.
What am I wasting a draft pick on trading for Bronny?
Cash consideration.
Because I'm getting LeBron. You get LeBron and you get Bronny.
Or they gonna buy out his contract. LeBron said, "Shoot."
Yeah, if that's the possibility, then sure. But I'm not trading for Bronny. I'm sorry.
Dang, you buy out my contract. They got 2 years left. It's crazy.
Like, I mean, not for nothing. If I trade,
probably for Bronny, a drop in the bucket, honestly.
If I trade for Bronny and then Bron don't come, I'm gonna be so pissed.
Nah, he gotta be there before I trade for him. No, you gotta sign the contract, then we gonna trade for Bronny. Ain't no ifs.
That's how dudes try to draft. Remember, somebody said the Warriors was gonna draft Bronny to LeBron, and they was like, "You draft Bronny, we're not gonna go there." That's what Rich Paul said.
I know Draymond going wherever LeBron go.
Dang, he said make a wish.
Yeah,
he said Bronny goes to McDonald's.
See, I ain't going that far. I just thought Bronny should have stayed in college the extra year, but.
I think so too.
I think it's time. I think it's time for them to separate ways as well, and not for. I don't think Brady's longevity. I seen he said it is crazy. I don't think it is. He played quarterback. He had a pretty good O-line. He doesn't scramble, so he's not taking the hits as many other guys.
Well, I will say compared to other quarterbacks, his longevity is crazy. Because
I'm not doing that.
Quarterbacks just lose it after a while.
Yeah, but I'm not comparing. I'm just comparing it in the totality of sports. LeBron is still giving you what 20.
Yeah, LeBron different.
Probably 40, honestly.
No, I'm talking about
might not play the next night, but
no, I'm talking about average. Yeah, he giving you what like 27, 7, something like that. I'm trying to look it up, but it's something crazy that you should not be doing at 41.
And he's like dunking and running. He's still playing he's still doing stuff like.
He's still playing like. I ain't saying like 18, but he playing like he in his late 20s.
He's still giving you 21.6. 8.8. No, wait. See, I hate the way the NBA do their stats. They 21.6, 5.6 rebounds, and 7 assists. That's crazy. At 41.
Yeah. He played 3 minutes of blacktop, and it was like, nah, I ain't getting 20. That's crazy. So
that's why people are like he said NBA is soft. Like, think about it.
Yo.
I ain't throwing them out on LeBron name.
It's y'all the Jet T. That's what he said.
Allegations.
But that's why it's amazing that Jordan at like 42, 41. Right.
Put up back-to-back 50-point games.
And he was averaging 20 back then when the scoring wasn't as much. And he played 81, 82 games.
Yeah.
And was almost on the brink of making a playoff. I'm just saying, man. Look.
I mean, he never played with Rip Hamilton. He only played 15-1 together.
You know what, Brian? If you want to complete the cipher, bro, it's cool. I understand.
Right, he's not coming to DC.
If you want to complete the cipher, bro, you take the Wizards to the playoffs, you win the debate.
Man, y'all already that would be crazy. Come over, they're gonna give it all.
That would be crazy. He team back up with AD and DC.
You know what's crazy? Everybody's saying going to Cleveland with that fit though with James Harden.
I feel like they can make it work.
I think so. I think Spider would be upset after a while, but I think it'll work.
I think they can make it work.
I would say he'll be open to it.
Yeah, they say that, and then LeBron get there. Next thing you know,
Nah, I think Spider benefit the most out of this. I think they could Harden and LeBron to make it work.
unless LeBron turn into Kevin Love.
Harden can't do nothing off ball, bro. I do this.
But
Like,
I
LeBron
don't.
take the
The only because I was about to say you could probably
playing
put
with
Harden to
Luka
the
again.
bench, but I don't know if Harden's gonna want to come off the bench.
He said James Harden on the question. I'm not mad at.
he gonna get out of there. I
Hey,
think
go to Houston with KD.
the KD gonna leave. You like, I gotta go, bro.
Wouldn't be the first time.
He's still mad at James Harden for what he did in Brooklyn, man. Like, why you leave? Well, y'all asked him that question. That's what he said on the Netflix documentary. Said Braun going back to Cleveland. Yeah. Then that's when you can say y'all they out of your league. But let's go back to the Midwest, just like LeBron about to.
Oh, this Carl team right here.
It's
Carl,
my mom's team. It's not mine. I root for them though because sorry, I love my mother.
Was you apologize? You see
Yeah,
my
say it
apology
like
tour
that.
2 years ago?
Who almost cursed?
well, let's
Almost cursed.
Whenever I see a Detroit Lions fan or a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, I'm like, my apologies, my brother. I say that every time I see one.
I forgot we was on the show for 5 seconds.
I saw one yesterday too, and I was like, "You a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "My apologies, my brother."
what they say after that? Because you
He's
know
all
that,
laughing. He's all laughing.
oh, they ain't spiteful like some 49er fans, but they just can't let it go. You get your joke off. They want, well, you ain't been in 30 years. I'm like, you ain't won in 31, but you ain't been. I'm like, bro, y'all always want to fight about who been, who won.
Exactly.
No one talk about who won.
I'm like a LeBron fan.
Man. But
You ain't lying. Oh, you was
We've been
not.
to the finals, but did you win though?
you know what I'm
You ain't
saying?
lying. God dang. We didn't beat them 3 straight or them cobwebs. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't team hop and like the Pistons and then team hop to the Nuggets. Like, not for nothing. I'm a Jokic fan, but I'm not a Nuggets fan. Like, I was happy for Jokic, but that didn't change nothing about me as a fan.
You know, that's the one thing, and I know we're going to introduce this next topic, but that's the one thing about NBA fans, right? When your team is bad, you ever notice that you find another player, you like, man, you know what? I like the way they play, man. You know, I'm going to root for them.
Edgy is my guy last year.
Like this for the last 2 years, I'm like, you know what? Ain't not that bad, bro. You know, the Timberwolves a nice team, man. They looking good.
I mean, you can't root for your team in the playoffs if they not there. Like,
playoffs, regular season.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like people like shout out to Bippy. I'm gonna say his name, but people like your team ain't there. Like, bro, you following LeBron, bro. Like you following the best player. Like if I follow Kobe, if I like Kobe, if I follow the best player in the league, bro, I'm gonna get some rings. I should get rings, bro.
Like if you're a KD fan, you went through some trials and tribulations, but you seen some rings.
Nobody talk about when the Pistons was good. LeBron ain't get a ring while the Pistons was at the apex.
I mean, he had a baby.
Yeah,
They
but-
had
but-
Ben Wallace. That's a big deal. People don't talk about it. Ben Wallace wasn't even there.
Exactly, and I think Tayshaun Prince was hurt or something like that. Somebody was hurt.
Hey, Sixers though, y'all got to. I mean, I like y'all healthy.
I like us.
Yeah, I'll never root for another team. I root for like the actual player.
Oh, yeah, I'm a real player.
Yeah, and then if the team start winning because of the said player, it's like, oh, all right, cool. As long as he winning, I don't care.
Yeah, and I will troll you if that player I'm rooting for is going against your team. I will troll you hard.
Yeah, like it was a rough year when I was saying the Mavericks was a dark horse, and then they went up against the Timberwolves, and I was like, man, I kind of like Ant, you know. And then next thing you know, boom, they won, and I was like, well, see, Kev, it's a win-win for me. But
Real quick, as soon as you threw him in the trade, all right. I think one day you came on and said, "All right, Cav, you gave up on them," and they ended up trading Luka, bro. And they lost to the Celtics.
you need a wizard on your team to win the finals.
Oh my!
He didn't want to listen.
I'll let you rock
He didn't want to listen
because you
That's
keep
what
claiming
happened.
KCP, and that's not your claim to fame, bro. You can't claim KCP.
He was a wizard,
He was drafted by the Pistons.
but he was a wizard.
You what? Oh, KCP. I've been
Yeah.
talking about somebody else.
Nah. Yeah, KCP, man, cool. All right, well, let bygones be bygones. He still was a wizard somewhere on that roster or a coaching staff. That's all I'm saying. But it looks like the Rockets are trying to. I mean, I'm talking about basketball. It looked like the Texans are trying to do the same thing. They're like, man, look, we want to boast up our run game, But then also the Lions are like, well, we trying to get our O-line because Jared Goff is still here. We trying to protect him. So news comes out. Shout out to Davey Schefter. He drops it in the NFL chat. Lions are trading David Montgomery to the Houston Texans for offensive line Juice Scruggs and a 2026 4th-round pick and a 2027 7th-round pick. This move becomes official March 11th. And bro, the dates are flying by so fast. I'm like, March is a long time away. I'm like, bro, it's like next week for real. But March 11th. So, yeah. So the move going to be official then. Granted, nothing else happens. This move has happened. So let me ask you this, Joe.
I'm going to hear Carl first. This is Carl's second team.
Well, Carl, this is your second team. I know you had a quick jab to say about it.
I don't have a second team. I root for my mother's Lions, bro. Like, what's wrong with that?
Your second rooting interest.
Joe roots for Javon Steelers.
I don't really root for him.
You said it on the show.
I say it, but I don't sit there and be like, let's go Steelers. I don't do that.
Man, when the Steelers took first place over the Ravens, I caught a shot.
No, I said shout out to the Steelers in first place. That's what I said.
Man, whatever.
I don't watch the game and be like, let's go, Aaron Rodgers. I don't do that.
I'm going to let Carl take this. I got to leave for like 10 seconds. I'll be back. But Carl, take it away.
All right, man. I'm going to say this. The Lions absolutely did David Montgomery dirty. And unless the Texans start David Montgomery, which I don't see because I really think they like Woody Marks and they still have Joe Mixon unless they get off a Joe Mixon contract. David Montgomery's still going to be a backup back. I think he wanted to start. First of all, who knows if it was the truth that he wanted out of Detroit? I don't know if that's the truth or not because Demo came on Twitter, which he hasn't tweeted in a long time, and said to one of the reports, I think it was the Sleeper or the Underdog report, saying that he was like, did Demo tell you that? So I don't know if he wanted to leave or not. But if he did wanted to leave to start, I don't know if Houston was that destination with a rookie, well, now second-year player in Woody Marks, who actually did a good job, in my opinion, and was one of the running backs I liked in last year's class. And I think they like him as a starter as well. So I don't think that for Demo, this is exactly what he wanted. Now, there was a report saying that Houston was one of his destinations. But again, there was reports he wanted out, and Demo tried to refute those. So who knows? But in terms of a trade, I think this was good. Demo, I think, is going to get a lot of burn in Houston. I don't think he's going to be a starter, but I think he's going to get touches because Nick Chubb is now gone. He gives them a younger and more healthier, guy who he don't like to turn power back, but a lot of people look at him as a power back. Out of respect for Demo, I'm not going to call him one. Guy that in short yardage situations can come in and succeed, but he also could break away a little bit as well. So he gives them a better guy than Nick Chubb. Joe Mixon is coming off a major injury, so who knows how he's going to be. He is older. So again, the Texans might come off that contract, but in terms of being a starter, I just don't know if Houston's going to make him the starter over Woody Marks. So, but then the Lions, they got a young old lineman back for it. He's a project. Let's see if he's going to do well with this Lions O-line. And then you get a 4th-round pick, more than what they projected. Allegedly wanted. They wanted a 5th, and you get a 7th next year. And if the Lions draft well, so those are good picks for the Lions and Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes. So all in all, I think for each organization it was good. Now for what Demo wanted as a starter, I don't think that was a good selection. But
hey, Carl, also Texans will be releasing Jimmy Ward.
Oh, defense side of the ball. Dang.
I know. They saved him 700.
But he had a major injury too, didn't he?
They saved him $750K.
I was about to say he had a major injury. He's also a little older.
Yeah.
And they got their safeties anyway, so they straight.
They straight, yeah.
Sorry, Jimmy. But yeah, for the orgs, I think this was a good trade for both organizations. But for what Demo wanted, I'm not too sure on that.
Yeah, me, I love it for the Lions. Because you know where you want to go. You want to put the ball in Jahmyr Gibbs a lot more. You want to be more like that. And they got an offensive lineman back, like you said. And they got 2 draft picks. A 4th. You can do something great with a 4th. You can actually replace Montgomery for real with the 4th. And if you a good draftee, draft there. Might replace him in the 7th. I know some guys that get good guys in the 7th. But
that's why y'all trying to sign another running back.
Kind of hot in here, huh?
That's why they're trying to sign another running back, right?
Man, he trying to sign himself. He trying to
No.
He's talking Rashad White, right?
What?
I was talking about Rashad White.
I was talking about Jeremiah Love.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said sign.
Oh, I heard
Not
draft. My
draft.
fault.
Man, even him, man, we would be a good. They trying to come over here. I mean, don't look at us. We got who don't want to pay Jane Daniels, bro. You understand that? But anyways,
I mean,
what?
you see what the comments said? They going at you. Go ahead.
He's no Jalen Hurts. Who's no Jalen Hurts? I have not heard one person say I won't play with Jalen Hurts. I never heard one person say, you know what? Who quarterback you want you to throw the ball to? I ain't heard not one person say Jalen Hurts, bro. Not one time. Because you won't get the ball thrown to you. Because they don't trust you. And then that's what they said. The Eagles line. You don't trust the guys. Anyways, but I thought it was great for Detroit. I think Detroit would do good with those draft picks. I know Dan Campbell said he want to go back to running the ball heavy and with the O-line. But also with the Texans, I think it's good too because they're going to be – they give me a sign like, okay, they're going to want to run the ball a lot more than they did last year. You know, keep the ball in CJ Stroud hands and make them just manage the game. Don't make them be a hero. Make them manage the game because they have an elite defense. I was so upset they lost because I wanted to see that defense. That defense was so exciting to watch. Imagine them going to Seattle. What do you say?
I mean, I'm about to say you are not giving your guy credit saying top 20.
Come on, bro.
You're not helping your guy right now.
Tom, your face said it all, bro. I was like, what do you do? What do you say?
I seen it too.
Dang. Jalen Hurts is a top 20 QB. Gosh. He is top 20, though. You ain't lying.
No. I'm
saying he's at least top.
Go the other way. Go the opposite direction.
25. That's great.
If you want to help your guy, you might want to go.
He trying to help his guy. But Jalen Hurts, he should be unlocked this year. That's what they said, right? But I like the trade for kind of both sides. But like Carl said, Montgomery, do I think he can go somewhere and get a number one role? What 8 years under his belt? What 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? He going to his 8th year as a running back. You know, like, and he dealt with injuries in the past. Now last year he played every game, but the last 3 years he missed 3 games apiece. You know, so it's like, is he gonna get a number one role at that age?
I think the Vikings would have been a great spot, but they're not gonna trade within division though.
Yeah, they brought in Aaron Jones, and Aaron Jones couldn't stay on the field either. But that's how he always been. Either one.
I was about to say he always had injury problems
until it's time to play Dallas. But anyway,
yeah, very true. Very true.
A lot of people can't see the field, but as soon as the playoffs hit, they gotta play the Cowboys.
Did he play when y'all played them when McCarthy hit the gritty on y'all?
I think he did.
I think he did. I think he was there.
I don't think he had a good game though, but I think he did play.
You think y'all a bunch of Hurts fans? We're not, but like, dang,
you told us not to trash him.
I think he's trolling. He don't like Hurts.
I don't think so either.
I think a previous episode.
Yeah, I think this was him.
He was killing Hurts.
Oh, that was him?
When we talking about Sam Darnold. I think we talking about Sam Darnold. Yeah.
Oh man, I need you to show up Wednesday, 9:45 p.m. Eastern time, and say the same thing. All right, we got a show called Unfazed. I need you to show up, bro. We got an Eagles fan on there. He will go at you in the comments. So make sure you pull up 9:45 Wednesday p.m. Eastern. Well, he's in the East. He's in Philly. Hopefully.
Hey, you never know. He could be. He
did play versus Dallas. He had 12 carries for 34 yards.
See what I'm saying? It wasn't as good, but he played.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think he had a good game, but he played.
JJ McCarthy took his spot.
He gave all the power to JJ
McCarthy.
Bro. He's like a release. Here you go. But I agree with you all as well. I think this is one of those things where both teams win. For David Montgomery, Carl, I know you're saying if he wants to start, I think he's like, you know what? He probably didn't ask for this specific trade, or maybe he did by the interviews that he did saying, you know, I want to go to Houston, and then they found a way to make the trade happen. He could probably compete for the starting position here, which I know going off of what you were saying is probably far-fetched, but he definitely wasn't competing for it in Detroit because they all knew who the number one running back was there. And hence, you know, the tandem of Sonic and Knuckles, and him not saying he want to be a power back, but everybody knows Knuckles was known for power. But I'm not going to disrespect the man that way because he definitely helped me win some games in my fantasy league. So hats off to you, Demo. But outside of that, I think this was another one of those moves where the Texans looked at their quarterback and said, hey, CJ, we don't watch Drake May go to the Super Bowl. We don't watch Jaden Daniels go to a conference championship game. We don't watch that other team in Dallas stick by their quarterback and we not about to have that. So we're gonna bring in another running back to help you out this year, and we're gonna see because Tank Dell should be coming back this season. Also, we're gonna give you one more year to be like, hey, bro, what we doing here? Because we keep going to the playoffs and winning one game, like a running joke is for another team. But go ahead.
You know who he beats in the playoffs? The teams that's in the AFC North, not named the Ravens. He beat the Browns and the Steelers. Justin Herbert.
How about leave somebody else? Okay.
And Justin Herbert.
Yeah,
And before you say he beat the
Another
Chargers,
rival.
Justin Herbert threw what? How many interceptions he throwing that pick? Like 3-4 picks. He beat Justin Herbert.
Joe Flacco do too.
2 pick
Dang,
sixes.
everything he played through a pick six.
I brought this up in the chat. I'm surprised nobody said nothing when I brought this up in the chat. The Texans win playoff games when the defense catches multiple interceptions or have multiple defensive touchdowns. They had 2 defensive touchdowns against the Steelers, 2 against the Browns, and 4 picks against the Chargers.
I remember
CJ Stroud is yet to quarterback the Texans to a win.
Can I have one moment, Joe, right quick? Can I have my hypothetical moment?
Okay.
That couldn't mess that up. Y'all want to crack y'all jokes about CJ Stroud having more playoff wins, but that couldn't mess that up. At least
that's what I brought it up.
No. You're right.
That's what I brought it up because
like
Lamar posted that thing was like, oh, Lamar and CJ Stroud got the same amount of players. Y'all know Lamar defense has had the turnovers in the playoffs since 2021.
I mean,
Same complex. Come on.
Shout out to Jared Goff.
Jared Goff. Not even Jared Goff. J-Mo. I would say the wide receiver threw y'all a pick.
Shout out to Baker too.
Yeah, but that's more so like y'all said everything that I was gonna say to it. I think this is more so one of those moves where he can compete for the starting role, and we'll see what happens. You know, OTAs, training camp. I would like to see the 1-2 punch, but this was another reason why, and I said it in my in another group chat, right? I said you need a good running game so your quarterback doesn't throw interceptions, but you also need a good running game because it'll help you in the playoffs. Ask Jalen Hurts. Now, I just had to throw one Eagle shot. I was going to chill, but ask Jalen Hurts. If you got a good run game in the playoffs, there's nothing the team can do with you. So either way, if he starts or if they split carries, this is another way for them to say, hey, CJ, can't mess this up.
I do think that he'll have a bigger role in Houston than he did in Detroit. I think the role in Detroit was getting smaller because they are going to make Jahmyr Gibbs one of the highest paid, if not the highest paid running back in the league. It's going to be a race between him and Bijan for that title. But that's one thing Demo could hang his hat on is his role to be bigger. And like Joe said, with the 4th round pick, you could replace Demo. Now, who would they replace him with? I don't know who last in the 4th round. I could say some running backs I like. Like I like Emmett Johnson a ton. I like Jadrian Price a ton. I don't know if they'll be there in the 4th, but maybe they get him earlier. I don't know what the Lions draft capital situation looks like at this moment, but they could definitely replace Demo in this year's draft.
I think they can. Like you said, they do draft good. Even if they don't replace him on the offensive side, they can find another replacement for him on the defensive side. Either way, they're going to draft their player to fill his shoes somehow, some way. Go ahead, Joe. You on mute, Joe.
On mute.
Remember in the chat when the Eagles played against the Chargers and Hurts had that game, right? Mm-hmm. And then the next game they played the Raiders. Mm-hmm. And Blaze in the chat, our run game looking nice. I said, bro, it's the Raiders. He said, no. I said, y'all run game look nice against the Chargers. No, I didn't. You know, and I'm like, bro, it's the Raiders. How do they look after that?
Who, the Raiders?
No,
the run game.
The run game.
How they look against the 49ers?
Boxed up.
They did have a little stretch when they were running the ball, but bro, it's the same. Like, bro,
that Chargers game, they was good. They looked like they was back in that Chargers game. Yeah, it looked like they was back.
What you talking about? I said, bro, y'all were good at the Chargers. I said it's the Raiders, bro. Who don't look good, bro? Marcus Mariota put up 40 on them boys.
Yeah, y'all had the Corey's calling him Super Mario.
You know that y'all cooked them too. Everybody cooked them boys, except for the Broncos. But everybody cooked them.
I ain't defending them no more after what old Bibby did in the chat. Just randomly threw a shot at my Ravens. I thought I was the only one that had Bo Nix in second place.
What he say?
Oh, you talking about when you dropped the Willie Bean?
Yeah, he dropped this Friday.
Any given Sunday.
Bean was funny, bro. I ain't gonna lie. What?
You had him second?
Yeah,
you did have him second. You did.
I had Drake make second.
I had Drake fourth.
I had Drake third. I think I had Caleb fourth.
You had a Chaz Pop, man. I'm telling you, Tom, and you too, Carl. All of us, we gotta do the mean tweets, yo. We gotta do that. We gotta look up comments that people is going on us, bro.
I be responding to mine, so I ain't got to look up none.
Hey, I just got on TikTok. I'm about to start replying because they be going crazy. They be going crazy, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I be looking at them sometimes. I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm about to start saying stuff, bro.
Because
Like,
I don't
be
care.
replying. I reply on YouTube.
Reply.
Yo,
It ain't
Like,
gonna hurt
TikTok
my-
be going
they be
there.
crazy,
TikTok be
bro.
going there. TikTok be going there.
I ain't got a TikTok, and I
They
refuse
be
to make
going
it.
there. Like,
But I reply to mine on my YouTube because I don't
Oh,
care.
see, Carl, you don't get on there then. You reply on the YouTube, you gonna be there all day on
I need to
TikTok, bro.
reply.
They are, bro. It be a family of people.
Yeah, TikTok
And they-
got endless action.
But the good thing about it is it's a family of Cowboy fans that'll randomly jump in, so I don't have to say something sometimes. But them Bears fans, I think that's the only app they got because I don't see them nowhere else but on TikTok.
That's one thing about TikTok. You will get somebody on your side come in and fight your battle. So like you just sit back and watch and wait. Somebody gonna jump in and be like, and just have your back, bro.
And it's so easy to have a debate in the comments when you got Google right there. You can Google all your stats in the moment. Like it's easy to answer the question then.
Facts. All right, man. Great show, y'all. Great show like always. My last words, my Commanders, they saying we about to turn up in the free agency. I heard another team say it too, but I believe y'all, Tom. I think y'all gonna do something. Jerry Jones, has he ever said that?
Yeah, we going all in.
Technically,
No.
I was about to say technically,
No.
Cowboys fans claimed that was about free agency. He came out and later said it wasn't about free agency. So I don't know. I felt like it was, and then it didn't pan out. So then he said he backtracked like, no, we went all in on the team we had already.
Nah, bro. We unless his name not Trent Williams, we ain't signing him. You know, if his name Trent Williams, we might get him.
Trent got to get traded.
Anybody else? Mike Evans? Nah, bro. We can't do it. We
You don't
can't
want
do
Mike
it.
Evans?
Trey
He's
Hendrickson?
on year 13, my brother.
But nah, not Trey Hendrickson either, bro.
I'm about to say Mike Evans, year 13. He's coming off of a year where he had played 8 games.
Yeah, bro. We gotta get younger. I think the match is out. Zach Ertz, we ain't re-signing him. He the brother's out. You know, he gonna play next year, not with us. Bobby Wagner, we might tell him to stay home. Or he might become a linebacker coach or something. I don't know.
Bobby said you want to come back to play, man. Bobby playing.
Yeah, but we might bring him. I don't know, but nah, bro, chill. But anyways, Commanders, be aggressive, build a defense. And Kings, Carl, I saw your message.
I wasn't trolling, by the way. I was so serious.
I know you wasn't. I know. Carl said I should light the beam for every loss. Makes sense because I'm trying to lose, right?
Yeah.
But then I thought about it. We don't have to be the worst team. We just got to be in the mix. I mean,
ask the Mavericks, right?
So ask me.
Ask Detroit. I'm looking at
ask me.
witness right here. So they're witness.
Ask me.
So just be in the mix. So I'm in the moment right now. I want to win. So Cav, take that L. Y'all trash. So any team we beat, I'm talking trash because we shouldn't beat nobody right now. We are trying to tank. And I was watching that Mavericks game, bro. That was the worst. That was like a high school game. It was terrible, bro. It was a track meet. And we look like a playoff team compared to the Mavericks. We look really good. Devin Carter out here looking like that going, I don't know. It was cooking. My boy. On both sides of the floor, too. You was strapping everything. So,
my boy, King,
man, please, NBA, do not do this to us, man. Do not do this to us. The only way we can get a superstar is if we draft one. Nobody is signing with us. Nobody. That's a superstar.
Who
and nobody gonna get traded here. We try to get Ja. We were the only team Ja said we don't want to go there. I'm like, dang, not even Ja want to come here. So NBA, do us right. That's all I gotta say. We got the best fans in NBA.
You can go on Tankathon.
Don't sound like me. Nobody wants to sign to Detroit. That's why we got Tobias.
I remember them days.
I can't say it no more. We made the playoffs. Who we signed?
I'm talking about the Wizards. I can't say it no more because players actually saying they weren't coming.
You said you remember them days. Like we still don't got the who we signed.
You right. You right. You right. You right. My bad.
We made the playoffs and still couldn't sign nobody.
You right. And y'all the number one team. I don't know. Y'all might sign somebody this year.
Hope next year, hopefully. Because
next year. You're right. I don't know, bro. Y'all win the finals. You know, beat Cleveland.
Win the finals. I don't know, bro. We win the finals.
What is the Eagles fan now? You see this? He said my sound Jalen Hurts jersey got intercepted by a Jet, Geno Smith. And that's the only time the Jets would get to a Hall of Fame QB.
I mean, technically they have one already.
Joe Naismith. Even though his numbers don't really.
I was about to say, I've heard so many stories about
Joe
how
Namath.
Joe Namath might be overrated and really is a merchant off the one Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So,
running in the tunnel.
Yeah. So.
Did your last word, Carl?
No, I'm about to do them now. All right, so CTC will be live in about 5 to 10 minutes. We will be previewing the Iowa State-Arizona game. That's in about 30, 40 minutes. And then I got 3 more games to preview for Tuesday. Conference tournament picks for this week's conference tournaments will be tomorrow. That episode will be tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. The Horizon League started today, but just the play-in Horizon League game. So I'm not picking Cleveland State nor IUPU, so don't worry about that. Pistons. I would like to say that yesterday's win was a good win because I heard we shot 20-something% from 3 and still won by 14. So shout out to the Pistons for that. Now, the Cleveland and the Thunder wins were terrible wins. I'm not happy about those whatsoever. But it is that time of the year where you just got to win. So just keep stacking dubs. Let's hold on to this 1 seed. So, I could have something to be happy about at least this year. Ravens. I don't know if the price for Max Crosby is really 2 firsts. I could give away 1 for Max Crosby. I ain't going to hold you. But I would love to see us pursue Max Crosby. Definitely would love that. I would love I know. I seen there's a bunch of teams. I seen the Cowboys. I seen us. I think I seen the Eagles. I know it's a fight, but we don't really fight for much. So we got to win this. We don't. So let's win this one. And then I'll know free agency. After free agency, I'll know who I want in the draft. But I do like Jacoby Lane a ton out of USC. I've been giving him praise college football year. I love Jacoby. I'll take Jacoby Lane or Chris Brazil right now. I think the 49ers are in the mix. Shout out to you.
How?
Huh?
How?
What do you mean?
They got money? They got money?
I don't know. Maybe.
I thought it was going to be tough. You going to trade Trent for Crosby? I wouldn't do that. My bad. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Your last word.
Maybe. Nah, you cool. Michigan State. Way to run Indiana. I'm sorry that we win games and y'all lose games. I'm so sorry. But way to run the state of Indiana. We went into West Lafayette and beat Purdue for the first time since 2014. So in 7 games, we haven't beat Purdue in Mackey Arena in 7 games. Then in Bloomington, we basically run Indiana University out the gym. Kerr Tang, career night, 18.6 threes. Big Ten Player of the Year, Jeremy Fears with 21 points, 9 assists, and Jackson Kolar with 21 points and 13 boards against Indiana. Shout out to them. Keep doing what y'all do. We do play Rutgers, so we get back for little cuz and them across the street from Maryland. We got swept by Rutgers. We play them at the Breslin Thursday, and then we play little bruh and them Michigan on Sunday on their senior night. So hopefully we can get them an L on their senior night, even though they already clinched the Big Ten championship. It hurts my heart to see it. Yeah, they actually dominated the Big Ten. They only have 1 loss in Big Ten play.
And it wasn't y'all.
No, it was Wisconsin. But hopefully we can give them number 2. And then Big Ten tournaments next week. Selection Sunday is 13 days away. Maryland, don't even worry about it. I do have a guest already confirmed to join CTC on my 3rd annual Selection Sunday show. Can't believe I'm saying 3rd already. But he's never been on my show. So I'm excited for him to talk college basketball with him. I knew him since like 08. I went to school with him. He was a year above me. So shout out my dog. I'm not going to say who it is yet. And last but not least, South Carolina. I realize I don't talk about y'all in my final words, but I love y'all, man. But this ain't it. We last in the SEC in basketball, and I think we was last in the no, we wasn't last. Mississippi State was at the bottom too, but we was at the bottom for real in the SEC in football. Something got to change. Something got to change, man, because this ain't it, man. I love rooting for South Carolina, but we suck in both sports. We always got basketball though. That's what we do.
See, Terps.
That's fine. Y'all don't compare to South Carolina.
You're right, but that's how I feel. I can only root for the Lady Turks because they're the only ones winning right now.
I feel you.
And before you go, Tomo, congrats to CTC would be the #1 show on the network. Is there another round of applause? Go ahead.
You gotta let it play out.
No. Shout out to CTC. Good job, Carl.
Appreciate
Keep
it.
up the good work.
Oh, and the reel is also dropping. I do have a reel dropping tonight.
Sweet. All right, I know you gotta get out of here because you got a show coming up. So let me make this quick. Shout out to our superstar members. Click the link below if you want to become a member of the network. And we have chats, we have different type of offers, and we also have a commercial that comes up right after this. So if this is your first time here, click that like button, hit that subscribe button. We have other shows on the network as well. I will give you the list of shows on the network, but I got to get out of here because Carl got to start his show right after this, and I don't want to hold him up too much longer. But again,
Go ahead, name him.
hats off to you for I'm gonna start with you. CTC, which is coming up right after that. BWT, that's baseball with Teddy. We have FFC, that's fantasy football with Coach Coombs, but he talks about not just fantasy, he also talks about football as well. We got RBO, that's Real Ballers Only with Bond. We have In the Red Corner, that's with myself, Ty, and Ricky. We talk about boxing, no exhibitions, strictly boxing. So if you think I'm gonna force them to talk about the Mike Tyson and Floyd fight, but we strictly talk boxing on that one as well. And shout out to Dave with Dave's Doghouses, where you get the highlights and the lowlights.
Mm-hmm.
He just dropped the episode recently. Make sure you click the link below to all of the shows on the network. And Joe already told the Eagles fan we're going to come back. That was Wednesday at 9:45. Check out Unfazed with AJ and JJ. When I tell you it's going to turn up right there, but boy. You room for SMU? Oh man,
I ain't rooting for no SMU. South Carolina, SMU. Different geographical locations, my brother. SMU in Texas.
SMU has some. What I ain't even gonna go down that rabbit hole. But shout out to our superstar members. Shout out to Chavo, Dimitri, Big O, BWT Teddy, Decorius, FFC Coach Coon, Chris, Giovanni, Darnell, RBO Vaughn, Taniqua, Dave, myself, and Joe. And you. Make sure you click the link below, especially for my man that keep coming back, bro. If you coming back, come in the chats, man. We want to hear your takes on Jalen Hurts outside of the comments.
Lord
man.
Jesus.
We do want that Eagles fan in the chat, yeah.
No, I
do.
But
I'm trying to see some bipartisan.
I'm trying to get bro massacred.
No, he don't get massacred. You have a backing.
Yeah, but no, Eagles fan, he's gonna have two people behind him.
He gonna have Kev gonna be on the fence. Kev gonna be like, I see where he coming from.
Nah, Kev might jump to AJ side if he go crazy.
I don't think he can go too crazy.
I don't know. Kev Sam.
He just try to put bruh in top 25.
I mean, that's still. I mean, 10 is in 25, right? If you do the math,
then you would say top 10. Tomo, stop it.
I'm just saying, man. You can't spell.
No, he went backwards though. He
did though. That was crazy. But like I said, let me get out of here right here. My last words is for Cowboy fans. I mean, it's pins and needles right now. You know, we don't know what's going to happen with GP, but I also heard that it was I think it's a non-exclusive tag, and I think that's what you were referring to the first time we brought this up, Carl. Where if
I was referring to a tender.
Okay, all right, cool. Because this is the one where if a team does try to sign him, the Cowboys can either match or the team has to give up first 2-round picks or equal first 2-round picks.
Okay, cool. No, I was talking about that then. Yep, you're right.
Yep. So that's what he's on right now. So they're giving them the chance to say, hey, if teams want to pay you George Pickens, they got to give us 2 first-round picks. So at the end of the day, it's either you're going to be a Cowboy or we get 2 first-round picks. So that's out there. And then I know the Max Crosby thing, but I'm not really getting too high hopes on it until it actually happens. Same thing with free agency. But there are some names they're throwing out there, you know. And Kev, if you can read between the lines, you can see what's happening here. So we're going to stay on our Dean, and we'll see you on the next episode.
That's good.
Wait. Before we leave, again, I just want to give a major shout out to Nolan Smith of the DMV area for that accomplishment. Again, being co-champs of the Ohio Valley Conference since 1994-95 season. It's been 31, 32 years since they were co-champs in their conference. And Nolan Smith from the DMV, former Duke guard, and his first ever coaching job, his first year, got that accomplishment. So shout out to you.
Shout to him.
Man, you said Nolan Smith. I'm like, man, we ain't shouting on no Eagles.
My brother thought the same thing. He said, Nolan Smith play football, don't he?
Nah, once you got to going down the road, I'm like, man, I started naming Eagles. So once you said that, my mind went there. That's why. Former Eagles, that is.
and it's Kobe Dean, right? Like Thomas said, we'll see y'all. That's all we got for y'all today, and we'll see y'all next episode. Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.